A lot of people reach out to me after seeing my Shein haul here on my channel and ask me how do I get such a great success shopping on Shein. So in order to make it all easier for you, I have taken everything I know, all my tips and tricks, and I'm compressed it into this little video for you. If you are not familiar with Shein, Shein is a Chinese clothing company and they have become a huge player on the high street fashion market. They are online. It's like an online Primark basically. The main reason I love Shein is simply because of their plus size section. As a plus size girl, we all know that it can be difficult to have fun with fashion. Our options are very small, especially when it comes to affordable option, and Shein's got you covered. Now, although this video is not sponsored nor gifted by Shein, I have worked with them in the past and I'm working with them in the future, meaning I still have active discount codes that you can use if you want to save a few coins. And I'll pop them into the description box as well with all the links that you need. But let me tell you how you can get your best shopping experience when shopping on Shein. So let's get into the tips and tricks. Before you do any shopping on Shein whatsoever, the first thing I need you to do is I need you to take your measurement. Arm yourself with pen and paper and a measuring tape and then start measuring your body. Write all your measurements down and that is your starting point. If you don't know how to measure your body, you want a little bit of help with it, let me know because I think I could quickly put a video together that explains how to measure your body. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you are looking for. Anyway, once you have all your measurements written down, you are now ready to browse on Shein. I will show you here on my iPad how I do it. I found a little dress here that I think is very cute. Most importantly for this tip is that you check these little boxes. Use your size as an indicator, but never shop by it. Because when you press on a size underneath here, it will give you the measurements for that size. Those measurements change depending on whatever size that you press on. So go in and find your appropriate size by comparing your measurements to the measurements that they give you for the garments. Now that you have a good idea of the garment that you're interested in, what size that you need, next up, check the description box. Let me show you on the iPad again. I know it's a little bit small. I know it's hard to see, but it'll give you an idea. So we have the dress. We have the sizes and we'll keep scrolling down and here you have a size guide. The size guide is pretty much just these sizes here. It's compressed into a list, so I don't really use that. But right below it, we have the description box. And if you press on that, you have a long list coming up and that covers a whole load of details and that's where you need to look. It would tell you what style it is, the color, which can be useful at times, especially if you're unsure of the color showing up properly on screen. It'll tell you what type of dress it is. It'll tell you about the waist and the neckline, etc. There's loads of different details here. It will tell you what the fabric is made of. That's an important detail. But underneath it, it will tell you if there's any stretch in the fabric. It will tell you if it's non-stretch, slight/medium stretch, or if it's high stretch. And that is a detail that is so important. My personal golden rules when I shop on Shein, and I wrote them down because I don't want to get them wrong. Yes, I take my measurements and that is my guide, right? But if an item has no stretch, I size up. That means I go for measurements that is larger than I need, probably just one size up. That is if it has no stretch. That's whether it's trousers, tops, or anything at all. If it has slight to medium stretch, I match my measurements because that means the fabric has enough movement in it for me to get it on and off. If the item has high stretch, match to your measurements or I size down. Now, trousers especially, I can often size down if they're high stretch. And I do have an entire video on jeans because trousers are the hardest thing to get correct on Shein. I'm still struggling with it. I will link the jeans video down below if you want to see it because every single pair of jeans I bought in that video was too small in measurements, but because they were high stretch, some of them were actually too big. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mystery, but those are my little golden rules. And that's the ones I follow every single time I shop. Tip number 3 is to know your fabrics. As I said to you in the description box, it will tell you what fabric the garment has been made of. I'm not going to run through all fabrics with you, but a quick guide is if they're synthetic, man-made fabrics, they won't shrink. If they are made by nature, they will shrink. So you need to take that into account with your measurements. So best thing to do is read the description box and see what fabric it is. And if you don't know your fabrics, just do a quick little Google search on whether or not it's going to shrink. Knowing your fabric and knowing what your garment has been made of will give you a good idea of what to expect. To be fair, Shein sometimes use the weirdest fabrics. At times you can get something that feels like, you know, parachute more than anything else. And then at other times, I have a couple of pieces. They are the finest knit you would never expect to pick up on a website like Shein. So the best way to kind of combat that is to look very closely at the fabric on the photos, and it'll give you a good idea as well. Next up, what we got to do is to go and read the reviews. This is very, very important. We have the description box and size guide, and underneath it, we have the review. And this one dress here has 902 reviews. So go in and read them. You can scroll down a bit and you can say view more, and it'll open up the whole load. A lot of people leave photos. A lot of people will show you selfies of what the garment actually looks like. But this is ordinary people like you and me that have simply taken the time to go in and review the item and show you what it looked like. There has been several times where I've seen something on the model and then I go in and I read the reviews and I'm like, no. It will give you a very good guide of the size as well, because you see up here at the top of the reviews, it will tell you if an item has been rated small, true to size, or large. So again, go and read the reviews. Don't just take that for face value, because a lot of people may have ordered the wrong size, etc. But a lot of people will tell you that it's massively stretchy, so you can size down, or it's very small because there's no stretch, so you need to size up, etc., etc. So yeah, go and read the reviews. It is another amazing feature they have on their website. Now, trick number 5 is a little bit tricky, and I was kind of humming and ahhing, should I mention it? But I think it needs to be mentioned no matter where you shop. Before you buy anything, go and check the return policy. Now, I will tell you straight up, I have never returned to Shein. I attempted once, but at the time they didn't have free returns or from Ireland, meaning I would have to send and pay for the items. It was an international shipment, and of a t-shirt, I think I had 2 t-shirts at the combined price of like a tenner or something like that. It was going to cost me 25 euros to return. I wasn't going to pay that. So I never did. But I do have a selling group because of my job as a YouTuber. I get a lot of items gifted to me that I can't return. And obviously they need a home because I don't need them all. So I actually have a selling group where I sell them off. I'll link that in the description box if you want to shop my closet as well. But that's how I do it. I have never returned to Shein, but before you order, do me a favor and go and check the return policy. Go and figure out how it's done in your region and how much is it going to cost you, because you don't want to order a dress for 50 quid and then you can't send it back. Do you know what I'm saying? So check the return policy before you buy anything at all. Now, Shein do have free shipping for most places as far as I know. There is a threshold that you have to cover. I think it's about 50 euros here in Ireland, but they do give you the free shipping then on top, which is absolutely great. But when you're ordering as well, when you go to checkout on your app, it will tell you your shipping options up here. I have 2. And then it'll tell you the payment methods. And then down here, there is an apply voucher. Also, another thing is called points. Every time you shop on Shein, you get so many points per item. Once you go in and confirm that your order has been delivered, you get an amount of points. And if you want to then go in and review the item, leave reviews, you can earn more points as well. I probably should mention as well the delivery time. I was just thinking of that. It can take anything from a week up to a month for items to land. I think it kind of depends on what warehouse they have the items currently standing at, if the entire order is whatever. I don't know the logistics behind it. But yeah, I would say on average, it takes me roughly 3 weeks for items to land. From I place an order till it's here with me, I normally calculate 3 to 4 weeks. That way, in case I need something for something, then I know that's what it's going to take. The customer service is probably something that I should probably touch upon as well. I've never really had a lot of bother with Shein, to be honest with you. I think I've had bother with an item maybe 3 or 4 times in all the times I've shopped with them. Recently, I actually got a handbag. It's coming up in a haul, but the zip was broken on it. And I sent them a message. I sent them a couple of photos and they sent me a new bag. They didn't ask me to return the bag. They just simply gave me a new one because I'm showing them proof that the item was actually broken. So customer service wise, I don't have any complaints, but yeah, I've never had to deal with it much, but I just thought I'd mention it anyway. That is pretty much it. The 5 little rules: shop by measurements, not by size. Use the description box, read it thoroughly, know your fabrics, read the reviews, And most importantly, check the return policy, that it's something that you agree with before you even order, so you don't go and lose any money. But that is it. I hope you found this helpful. Is there anything else that you want to know that I didn't cover? Please just leave me a comment in the description box or get in touch with me on any of my other social medias. All the links are down below. But yeah, if you made it this far, sat through the ad, thank you very much. That's how you help my channel grow. With all that said and done, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.